Hello, anyone that's looking to speedrun this game. This is my tutorial of speedrunning the tutorial for Titanfall 2, or Titanfall 1, rather. This isn't a good game, this is a bad game. So, with this I'm not really going to have the timer. I'm just sort of going to be describing all of the tricks, how to do everything, what the fastest ways to do things are, so on and so forth. So I'm not really going to be having my timer.
This unit is authorized for military use.
So with this run, every time you're gonna like be in this little area whenever you do a 100% tutorial run, and time will start as soon as you press R here, and it starts the simulator. So here, if I had my timer up, it would just be time.
Welcome to the Hammond Pilot Certification Simulator. Warning, unregistered user detected. Key accepted. Training pod is authorized. Welcome, pilot.
So usually the fastest way to do this is to look about here, because usually that'll be there, and you'll just flick your mouse up just as far as it can. You'll be spamming enter there, so that you can just hit that as soon as possible. As I was saying, you just sort of push your mouse up really fast, and that'll always make sure that, because of where the limit of where you can look up to is, it always hits the,
You are free to move around the simulation.
what is it? The red light.
Please walk through the tunnel in front of you.
So with here, a fast way to do this is to run into those walls at an angle. And if you do not run into those walls at an angle, then your pilot will have to start up a sprint animation like that. However, if you're going into a wall at an angle, he's already doing the sprint animation, which means that he's always, what is it? There's no build-up time for going fast. He's just always going the max speed. For here, if you saw, I was looking down for when I jumped. That was to avoid jumping too early, so that I would mantle. A mantle is basically just when you jump, you don't quite make it, and so like you have to do that. Like here, you're forced to mantle, and there's no real way to avoid it. But there, you really want to make sure that you jump as like late as possible, so that you just avoid that mantle animation. There's also like a slight mantle where only your feet do it. Like here, I can probably recreate it. Yeah, so they're like, you sort of like catch yourself with your foot. That one like loses like 0.3 seconds or something like that. Here, when you run into here, for this area, you're gonna want to jump as soon as you get here, because that'll fling you, because whenever you jump, you get like a 0.1% speed boost. However, they don't chain together. For here, this whole area is basically just a fuck ton of wall kicks and a fuck ton of B-hops. So it's basically going to look like this when you come out of here. And if you like get these B-hops perfect, then it's just going to look really slick. And if I get this here, then now, usually you're not supposed to bump your head there. Usually if I bump my head there, I'll just reset. However, there is a backup strat for there, where if you really just want to keep going with a run to practice other stuff, whenever you're not able to just fly right in with a B-hop, you can do an edge boost wall kicks type deal here, where you just sort of jump into here and then fling yourself right off.
Use sprinting, jumping.
So for here, my general strategy, if you find a faster way, or a way that you find more consistent, then do it. How I like to do this area is, I like to jump off of there into that, and then do that, and then right out of here start just fucking wall kicking. And then here, I just sort of do a edge boost instead of trying to B-hop my way through there. I've found ways where I can B-hop through there, but they've generally not been fast, at least for me. Here, what you're going to do is, as soon as you spawn, you're going to jump into this wall, and then
To cover
you're just
even
gonna
more distance,
B-hop
wait
across this.
longer before starting the
And
second
usually if
tunnel.
you get it right,
Double
you're going to
jump
just
and
B-hop
enter the
all the
tunnel
way up to
above
the
to
entrance.
proceed.
So the fast way to get through this right here is, instead of like doing that so you mantle up like that, you're gonna want to like come at an angle, not like that. Nope. Like that. So you only like do the foot mantle so that you can just quickly climb up, and then you'll just sort of come in here and do that. So for here, the fastest route through here that I've been able to find, I've tried several different routes. I've tried going over the tank and like hopping through there. But so far, the fastest way that I found is coming over here, jumping on this, jumping up here, jumping here, hopping through here, while running on that.
Excellent navigational
You will
skills,
usually
pilot.
get that last hop through there because of the angle, as long as you wall kick off of that wall.
Cloaking, making yourself
Here,
nearly
the
invisible,
absolute
is essential to
fastest
pilot
way to get
survival.
through here is
To get
extremely
past the
hard.
sentries,
Because
cloak
what you have to do
first,
is
then
you
move through
need
the
to,
area quickly.
like that essentially, but without a double jump. You need to use that angled wall there to basically launch yourself through this hole and then hop all the way over here. Now for here, his dialogue will
Well
not
done.
start until like you get
Cloaking
into
does not
this little
last
area.
forever. Look
The
at the
trigger's like
cloak
right
meter on the
here, I'm
bottom
pretty
left
sure.
of your screen to monitor your remaining cloak time.
Now there, a way that's good to time going through here is as soon as he says monitor, you can just start running and then do that. And so he'll be talking during this.
In closed quarters situations,
So
you
for
can
here,
silently
the
with
fastest
melee
way to
attack.
do this is instead of like
Get
coming
close
up
to the
behind him and
target to
executing him,
melee.
you want to sprint by him, quickly look over at him,
If
and
you
then normal
an
melee
opponent
him.
From behind, you will perform an execution. Meleeing an enemy from the front can
As
be
soon as you
faster,
melee him, you
but
just want to
carries
be
more risk of
scrolling
death.
your mouse wheel as fast as you
To
can
continue,
and spamming R.
please pull your weapon.
That gets the smart pistol out as fast as possible and
This is the
gets him to
smart
this
pistol,
dialogue as soon as
an
possible.
auto-targeting weapon. Get close enough to a valid target, and the smart pistol will start locking on. Wait for a full lock before pulling the trigger. Use your smart pistol to neutralize the target.
So for here, he will not start talking until you shoot him. So you want to make sure that you shoot this guy as soon as you can, but make sure that it's locked, because if you don't shoot him when it's locked, and if you shoot him when like it's like this, then it'll just sort of
Wait for the weapon to finish the
throw you
lock-on
back here.
process before pulling the trigger. Target
So it has to be like that.
The smart pistol can lock on to more than one target.
For this area, you need to kill all of them before you touch the ground. If you don't kill them all before you touch the ground, then you'll be thrown back up there and you'll have to do it all again.
With one trigger pull. Kill the pilot with your smart pistol. Target down.
For him, you want to make sure that all 3 locks are done. Also, for here, your like instinct is gonna be that you're gonna want to run into this, but it doesn't work because you cannot wall run in a single area in here. Wall running is just disabled for this portion. Double jump isn't, but wall running is. So you'll have to just do that. So here for the firing range,
Switch to your rifle.
you're going to want to draw this as soon as possible and then immediately scope in.
Destroy all of the targets in the shooting range.
If you don't scope in like this at the very beginning, then he'll have a whole other dialogue basically like telling you to scope in. Now here for the Marvins, whenever you kill them, they still have their hitbox, so you can't just like aim down and then like just gun them down. You have to kill them each individually. The pattern that I've found that works is by going
Destroy all of the targets in the shooting range.
also, each Marvin only takes 2 shots to kill.
Targets neutralized.
So a way that I like to do is, and then just back and forth, back and forth. Now here for the grenades,
Throw a grenade into each of the windows.
you generally just need your crosshair somewhere within here, like, that's in. Oh, that was not in, alright. As long as it's in the general center, you'll be good.
Well done.
Combat scenario initialized.
So here what you're going to want to do is you're going to jump on there, and you're going to want to B-hop all the way over here. Because this is where the first dropship spawns. You want to prioritize killing the people that are farthest away from you. So this ship can spawn one of two ways. It can spawn facing that way or can spawn facing that way. If it spawns facing that way, then it will generally just sort of... What is it? It will make them spawn with two of them way over there and two of them right there. So it facing this way is the fastest way for it. Okay, here the strategy for this Titan is while he's falling, you want to throw 2 grenades down like this. And you do not want to take too much damage. If you take too much damage from him, then he'll just sort of trigger this dialogue, and it'll lose you like 30 seconds.
Once the red tint on your screen fades away, you have fully recovered.
So here, you pull out your anti-Titan weapon, and you're sort of unloading on him. As he was falling, you'd want to have thrown 2 grenades down at your feet, because those would have made it explode as soon as he lands. You just come up here and you throw it down. Also, you do not want to stand here before he starts falling, or else he will spawn over there. Also, before he even talks about that Titan falling, you want to draw your anti-Titan weapon, or else he will tell you to draw your anti-Titan weapon, and that will lose you more time. So here, your Titan here really depends on... This Titan will always be whatever the last chassis you used in multiplayer was. The last one I used in multiplayer was Strider. So I have Strider. Strider is the fastest one because obviously he has 3 dashes. The gun is always a quad rocket. And honestly, the quad rocket is just the best one for this. You want to stand about in this area, step on them, dash over, shoot at them, dash over. And then once you kill them, you want to reload as you're coming over here. So you have full ammo, because these guys over here are really finicky with whether they'll take damage or not. Yeah, so to have that area be as fast as it can be, you'll need to go into a multiplayer match and then just play Strider.
Titans can dash laterally to perform.
As soon as he says laterally, you can just start dashing, and then things will be okay.
To your right. Good job. The dash meter is located beneath the
once he says laterally, you can just sort of start dashing. You just need to dash forward, backwards, left, and right. It doesn't matter which direction that he says for you to go. You can just go any direction. And but you need to be going specific direction. You need to be going forward. You can't be going A and W forward. That doesn't count. But no, as soon as he says laterally. And also, you want to be sure not to use your dashes too fast. Because, you want to basically have at least over half in your second bar before you, go to do another dash. Or else he'll start this long dialogue about how you have limited dashes and you won't be able to do anything else. You can still, mark those dashes, so it's still kind of recoverable if you get that. But I think from what I've found, the most optimal timing for it is once you finish it, use it to dash towards this door, because this door will not open until you are at it, and then he'll sort of just start the dialogue and then get cut off by himself. Now for here, he talks about how you need to go down this hallway and dodge the rockets. Usually at this point you'll have full dashes like me here. All you really have to do is this. Look at this corner, dash. That isn't how they usually fire. That was weird. Dash. Look at corner, dash. Look at corner, dash. And then dash. So that's how that whole area works. it'll take some getting used to with figuring out how the dashes and everything work.
Against ranged threats,
He's a
Titans can be
dickhole.
equipped with the vortex shield.
Here you just want to sort of hold the vortex shield out, because this door will not open until your until it recognizes that your vortex shield is up. You're just gonna use both your dashes, and as soon as he starts firing, you can let go, and it'll kill him because he literally has like 0.1 HP. And your bullets with the vortex shield in this area are guaranteed to hit him every time. And then usually you'll have like one dash, and you'll use it to dash into there.
Skilled pilots often disembark from their Titans on the battlefield. To continue, disembark
You
from your
cannot
Titan.
disembark from your Atlas
Head into the
until he
control
says
room
to
open the gate
continue.
for your Titan.
Now, for here, the absolute fastest way to get this is by getting it like frame perfect as soon as you come within range, which is all the way over here. And you need to be looking at it. And you also need to hold it. Data knives always take the same amount of time to
Pilots
do
can
that,
control
so
their Titan's AI when they are on foot.
you can wall run
The AI
here,
can be toggled to follow you or
but not
guard
here.
its current location. The lower right corner of your pilot
Here,
HUD
you just sort of
displays your
spam V.
Titan's current AI mode. Put your Titan into follow mode.
Sometimes
and
it'll
when your
accidentally
Titan
put
is
it
in
back
follow
into
mode, it will try to stay close to your position.
guard mode,
Get close to your Titan
but that doesn't really matter.
and re-embark.
Probably the fastest way to get into your Atlas is from the top, and so you'll usually have enough time before he finishes talking to get into the top if you do your movement well enough, and then you just sort of dash over here.
Titans also carry offhand
As
weapons
soon as he
into
says
combat.
offhand weapons, you can shoot these weapons. If you do not shoot them, then he will go ahead like a little bit after this and tell you to shoot them.
Be sure to deploy offhand weapons to maximize your firepower in combat. Prepare for your final combat test. Try to use all of the skills you have learned. Enemy Titan shields temporarily disabled.
So this is the most infuriating part of this run. So what you need to do for this guy is you need him to start shooting you a little bit, and you need to come to him and shoot rockets at your feet.
Titan has a shield that
He
deflects
needs to be
incoming
taking damage as soon as this dialogue starts, or else he will be like kneeled down,
If you avoid taking damage for a
and then he can just sort of keep doing these. However, you do not want to take too much damage in this part.
Will monitor their Titan's shields in combat, taking breaks to recharge as necessary.
You do not want to immediately shoot your rockets at your feet.
Titan's health bar status
You want
is
to wait to
located
see
at the
him
top
stand
center
up.
of your HUD.
If you're ever having
Notice
problems
that
with
when your
him
health
not
bar
hitting you,
goes
just
down,
punch him,
it will not
and then he'll
replenish.
usually
Once your health bar is depleted,
start
your
doing
Titan is
doing stuff to
doomed
you.
die shortly.
Unless he just wants to be adventurous today.
Your Titan is critically damaged. Combat veterans refer to this as doomed state. Your Titan will inevitably self-destruct once it is doomed. When you eject, you can use the higher vantage point to plan your next move.
And
Excellent.
so that's most of the run.
Pilot combat
Well, that's all of the
certification is
run.
complete.
And time will be right when the screen goes black, like that. That is when time will stop. And then from here, you're free to just sort of exit training. So, I hope I did well at explaining everything. If people aren't understanding what I'm saying, I'll probably just make another one of these and then re-upload it. But, for now, that's my basic tutorial of the tutorial.